Greetings, seekers of truth and enlightenment. Today we'll explore a fascinating aspect of spiritual awakening, the subtle behaviors that emerge as we evolve on our spiritual path. Often, these behaviors go unnoticed, even by those experiencing them. Yet, they are powerful indicators of our growing spiritual awareness and connection to the universe. Spiritual awakening is not a destination, but a continuous journey of self-discovery and growth. As we progress on this path, our perceptions shift, our consciousness expands, and our interactions with the world around us transform. These changes manifest in various ways, some of which may surprise you. In this discourse, we'll examine 10 behaviors that people often display without realizing they're signs of spiritual awakening. Understanding these behaviors can help us recognize our own spiritual growth and better support others on their journeys. Let's begin with the first three behaviors. As we awaken spiritually, our ability to sense and interpret energy becomes more refined. You might find yourself picking up on the emotions of others more easily, feeling overwhelmed in crowded places, or sensing the energy of a room as soon as you enter it. This heightened sensitivity is a sign that your spiritual antennae are becoming more finely tuned. What does this mean for your daily life? You might find yourself needing more alone time to recharge or feeling drawn to certain people and places while avoiding others. This isn't about being antisocial, it's about honoring your newfound sensitivity and protecting your energy. Spiritually awakened individuals often experience a profound sense of unity with the natural world. You might find yourself spending more time outdoors, feeling a strong urge to protect the environment, or experiencing a sense of peace and rejuvenation when surrounded by nature. This behavior stems from a growing awareness of our interconnectedness with all living things. As we awaken, we begin to see ourselves not as separate from nature, but as an integral part of it. This shift in perspective can lead to changes in lifestyle, such as adopting more sustainable practices or feeling called to environmental activism. Have you noticed an uptick in strange coincidences or meaningful patterns in your life? This is a common experience for those undergoing spiritual awakening. You might see repeating numbers, encounter the same symbols repeatedly, or experience uncanny timing of events. These synchronicities are not random occurrences, but messages from the universe. They serve as guideposts on your spiritual journey, confirming that you're on the right path or nudging you in a particular direction. Paying attention to these signs can lead to profound insights and opportunities for growth. As we explore these behaviors, it's crucial to remember that spiritual awakening is a deeply personal experience. Not everyone will display all of these behaviors, and they may manifest differently for each individual. The key is to observe yourself with curiosity and compassion, noting any changes in your perceptions and interactions with the world. Consider for a moment. Have you noticed any of these behaviors in yourself or others? How have they impacted your life or relationships? These questions can serve as a starting point for deeper self-reflection and understanding. It's also important to note that experiencing these behaviors doesn't make you better or more evolved than others. Spiritual awakening is not a competition, but a personal journey of growth and self-discovery. Each person's path is unique and valid. As we move forward in our exploration, we'll delve into more subtle behaviors that indicate spiritual awakening. These behaviors often go unrecognized because they're internal shifts that may not be immediately apparent to others. Yet, they profoundly impact how we navigate the world and interact with those around us. The unseen metamorphosis. Subtle signs of spiritual awakening. As we delve deeper into the realm of spiritual awakening, we uncover more nuanced behaviors that often go unnoticed. These subtle shifts in perception and interaction with the world around us are like whispers of the soul, guiding us towards a more enlightened state of being. One such behavior is an increasing detachment from material possessions. This doesn't mean we suddenly abandon all worldly goods, but rather we find ourselves less driven by the desire to acquire things. We begin to recognize that true fulfillment comes from within, not from external sources. You might notice yourself feeling less excited about shopping or accumulating possessions, instead finding joy in experiences and connections. This shift often extends to our relationship with time. As we awaken spiritually, we may find ourselves less concerned with the past or future, instead focusing more on the present moment. This mindfulness isn't something we consciously practice. It becomes a natural state of being. We worry less about what has happened or what might happen, and instead find peace in what is happening now. Another subtle behavior is an increased ability to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. This doesn't mean we become emotionless robots, but rather we develop a kind of inner witness that can watch our mental and emotional processes without being consumed by them. You might notice yourself reacting less impulsively to situations that would have previously triggered strong emotional responses. This leads to another behavior: increased compassion and empathy. As we become more aware of our own inner workings, we naturally extend this understanding to others. We recognize that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own challenges. This doesn't mean we condone harmful behavior, but we're able to approach others with more kindness and understanding, even in difficult situations. A less obvious but equally significant behavior is a growing sense of inner peace and contentment. This isn't a constant state of bliss, but rather a deep-seated calmness that persists even in the face of life's challenges. You might find yourself less rattled by small annoyances, or better able to maintain your center during stressful times. We also tend to become more authentic in our interactions with others. As we awaken spiritually, we shed layers of conditioning and societal expectations, allowing our true selves to shine through. This might manifest as speaking your truth more readily, even when it's uncomfortable, or feeling less need to conform to others' expectations. An intriguing behavior that often goes unnoticed is a shift in our relationship with silence. While many people find silence uncomfortable, those experiencing spiritual awakening often seek it out. You might find yourself turning off the TV or radio more often, enjoying quiet moments, or feeling drawn to meditation or other silent practices. As we explore these behaviors, it's important to remember that they're not goals to be achieved, but natural outcomes of our spiritual growth. We don't need to force these behaviors or judge ourselves if we don't experience all of them. Each person's journey is unique, and these are simply signposts along the way. Take a moment to reflect. Have you noticed any of these subtle shifts in your own life? How have they changed your perspective or your interactions with the world around you? Remember, awareness is the first step towards integration and growth. In our next segment, we'll explore even more deeply the ways in which spiritual awakening manifests in our daily lives and how we can nurture and support this ongoing process of transformation. The alchemy of consciousness. Transmuting everyday experience. As we continue our exploration of the subtle behaviors that accompany spiritual awakening, we find ourselves delving into the realm of perception itself. The next set of behaviors we'll examine are not just actions or attitudes, but fundamental shifts in how we experience and interpret reality. One of the most profound yet often overlooked behaviors is an increasing awareness of the interconnectedness of all things. This isn't just an intellectual understanding, but a visceral, lived experience. You might find yourself feeling a deep sense of unity with others, not just humans, but all living beings. This can manifest in unexpected ways. Perhaps you feel a surge of love for a stranger on the street, or a sense of kinship with a tree in your backyard. This heightened awareness often leads to a natural inclination toward service, not out of obligation or a desire for recognition, but from a genuine understanding that helping others is helping oneself. You might find yourself volunteering more, offering assistance without being asked, or simply being more present and supportive in your relationships. Another behavior that often goes unnoticed is a shift in how we perceive challenges and difficulties. As we awaken spiritually, we begin to see obstacles not as punishments or setbacks, but as opportunities for growth and learning. This doesn't mean we enjoy hardship, but we approach it with a different mindset. You might find yourself asking, "What can I learn from this?" rather than, "Why is this happening to me?" Closely related to this is an increased ability to surrender to what is. This isn't about becoming passive or accepting injustice, but rather about releasing our tight grip on how we think things should be. You might notice yourself feeling less need to control outcomes, instead trusting in the flow of life. A fascinating behavior that often emerges is an altered relationship with time. Many spiritually awakening individuals report experiencing time as more fluid and less linear. You might have moments where time seems to stretch or contract, or find yourself less bound by rigid schedules and more in tune with natural rhythms. Another subtle shift is in our relationship with our bodies. As we awaken, we often become more attuned to our physical selves, not just in terms of health and wellness, but as a vehicle for spiritual experience. You might find yourself naturally drawn to practices that honor and nurture your body, or experience moments of profound embodied presence. A behavior that can be particularly challenging to recognize in oneself is a diminishing need for external validation. As we awaken, our sense of self-worth becomes less dependent on others' opinions or societal measures of success. This doesn't mean we become indifferent to feedback, but rather that our core sense of value comes from within. Lastly, we often develop a more nuanced relationship with truth and knowledge. We become more comfortable with paradox and mystery, less attached to being right, and more open to multiple perspectives. You might find yourself saying, "I don't know," more often, not from a place of ignorance, but from a recognition of the vastness and complexity of existence. As we reflect on these behaviors, it's important to remember that spiritual awakening is not a linear process. We may experience some of these shifts intensely at times, and then seem to regress. This is all part of the journey. The key is to observe ourselves with compassion and curiosity, without judgment. Consider, how have your perceptions and experiences shifted in recent times? Have you noticed any of these subtle behaviors emerging in your life? Remember, awareness itself is a powerful catalyst for growth. In our final segment, we'll explore how to integrate these awakening behaviors into our daily lives and how to navigate the challenges that can arise as we undergo this profound transformation. The Symphony of Souls, harmonizing with the awakened self. As we reach the culmination of our exploration into the subtle behaviors of spiritual awakening, we arrive at a profound realization. These behaviors are not isolated phenomena, but interconnected threads in the grand tapestry of our evolving consciousness. They form a symphony of the soul, each behavior a unique note contributing to the harmonious whole of our awakened state. The final behaviors we'll explore are perhaps the most elusive, yet they underpin all the others. One such behavior is a growing sense of inner stillness amidst the chaos of life. This isn't about escaping or denying the turbulence of the world, but rather finding an unwavering center within ourselves. You might notice moments of unexpected calm in stressful situations, or an ability to maintain clarity even when faced with difficult decisions. Another subtle yet powerful behavior is an increasing trust in intuition. As we awaken, we often find ourselves guided by an inner knowing that transcends logical reasoning. This isn't about abandoning rational thought, but rather integrating it with a deeper wisdom. You might find yourself making choices that don't make sense on paper but feel inexplicably right. Closely related to this is a heightened ability to discern truth from illusion. This goes beyond simply spotting lies. It's about seeing through the veils of conditioning and social programming to perceive the underlying reality. You might find yourself questioning long-held beliefs or seeing through manipulative tactics that once would have swayed you. Perhaps the most profound behavior of all is a deepening capacity for unconditional love. This isn't the romantic love celebrated in songs and movies, but a vast, all-encompassing love that extends to all beings, including those we might consider enemies. You might notice a softening of your heart, a willingness to forgive, or moments of overwhelming compassion for the suffering of others. As we integrate these behaviors into our lives, we may face challenges. Old patterns may resist change, relationships may shift, and we might feel temporarily disoriented as our worldview expands. Yet, these challenges are not obstacles, but opportunities for further growth and refinement. Remember, the goal is not to perfect these behaviors or to use them as a measure of spiritual progress. Rather, they are invitations to live more fully, to engage more deeply with life in all its complexity and beauty. They are reminders of our true nature, calling us home to our most authentic selves. As we conclude, take a moment to reflect on your own journey. How have you changed? What new perspectives have you gained? And most importantly, how will you carry these insights forward into your daily life, allowing them to inform your actions and interactions? The symphony of awakening is playing within you. Will you listen? Will you add your unique voice to the cosmic chorus? The choice, as always, is yours.